So, as these things normally start, an attack on them others has occurred. Now, in this case, them others is overseas doctors and nurses, people who have come to this country to help our NHS because British people just aren't filling the roles. And the attack in this circumstance is fees for using the NHS. Just to be perfectly clear, already if you're a nurse or a doctor and you were born overseas but you've come to this country, you currently have to pay £400 a year to use the NHS, to use the thing that you're propping up. That's set to rise to £625. Now there's an article in The Guardian, I will link it down below. It's titled "Calls to Scrap £625 fee for foreign doctors and nurses to use the NHS." It goes into say the King's Fund warns that the charges that are about to go up are only going to make the shortages that we face in this country even worse. I fully recommend going through it, but it highlights that if a doctor or a nurse is in the typical family, which is one partner and two kids, they could end up paying £2,500 a year to use the NHS. These people are keeping the NHS going, and yet they are being fined to use the thing that they're keeping going. Just think for a moment. Picture your wage packet. You have your deductibles, maybe you have pensions, you have normal tax, and then you have national insurance. National insurance pays for the NHS. I did a video on this a few years ago. The problem that we have is that the government is not funding the NHS. This is not a way to fund the NHS. This is a way to punish people from other countries who have the audacity to come here to help this country. It was the Conservative government, Theresa May, who set the stage for the Windrush scandal. It was the Conservative government, Theresa May, who was in office when the fallout from this happened. And now we are punishing people who are coming to the UK to help our NHS, which is being forced to suffer. We're forcing them to pay up to £2,500 on top of national insurance, on top of standard tax, on top of pensions, on top of everything. This is something extra. And just while we're talking about the NHS and the shit show that they are creating, remember just a little while ago, Matt Hancock, and I fully recommend you follow him on Twitter. Some of the shit he comes out with, it's almost like a parody. It would be funny if it wasn't so goddamn depressing. Private firms given £9.2 billion of NHS budgets despite Hancock's promise. Again, this is another one written by The Guardian, and I'll link this down below as well. The amount of the NHS budget going to private healthcare firms has reached an unprecedented level, despite the Healthcare Secretary's pledge to roll back outsourcing and patient care. This kind of tactic is only meant to do one thing. It is only meant to destroy the NHS and give us the American healthcare service. The healthcare service where if you're a poorer person, if you struggle to make ends meet, you don't get the medical help you need. Where if you come from a poor family, you're not going to buy your kids an asthma pump. Not because you don't want to, but because you literally haven't got the funds. I hope for every single person who voted Conservative, I hope this is worth it for you. because this is on your heads. It's one thing to say, okay, we didn't know in 2010 that they were going to go the way that they did. We didn't know in 2014, 15, 16. But you knew this time round. The writing was everywhere. So I hope it was worth it.